Alex Torres, man, what's good, man? Black African Power, man. I see you, Smalls, man. 911 is an emergency, ain't it? 911, man. Let the people get in the building, man. Get this thing started right, man. Y'all see the title, man. Hidden Colors, the first 5 minutes. A classic review. Yeah, we need to get right to it, man, and get into this thing, man, so we can get it going. I'm gonna let the family come in here, man. Hope y'all enjoying y'all Sunday, man. This ain't gonna be a long. We're gonna get in and get out, man. It's important, man. Perry Black, I see you, man. What's good? Joel Armstrong, man. What's up, peace, man? Black African Power, man. You know it, man. Yeah, be more all day in the building, man. Got to be more careful. Shalimbe, I see you, man. What's good with you, man? Appreciate that live you did the other day, brother. Yesterday. Appreciate you. Usamayak Rob, what's up with you? To the people coming here, man, we got to be very accurate in our approach to making sure that these mistakes don't occur over and over and over again. Man, make sure you hit that cash app, man. Show some love, man. Stop playing. Show some love, man. You know how we do it, man. Time away from the family, man. Family's the most important thing you got. So everybody got to respect everybody's time, man. Man, I got my first cash app, man. I appreciate you, man. Let's start that thing off right, man. Let's get this thing going. Get in the game, man. Very, very important, man. I already know. It's Mr. Torres, brother. You stay very consistent, man. The whole effing show, man. What's good with you, man? Man, y'all know what it is, man. We just pushing science and science advocacy. Science and science advocacy as a way to promote a healthy African American community, man. And we've been saying this for years. And all the brothers and sisters that's joined along, man, we got the movement going in the right direction. What's up with Juju, official pseudo killer? Chilembe, official pseudo killer. Joel Armstrong, pseudo killer army. Smalls, pseudo killer army official, man. I see you too, Smooth 71, man. Peace. How they said peace. Man, we get the 30 up in here, 35, man. We get the humping and get it going, man. Get the pushing forward. And so it's been a long ride. And so we're not actually attacking brothers. I think we've gotten better. We don't have to attack brothers or sisters or anybody at that point. It's just the information that we need to attack. And big up the Garfield, man. Powerful show today. Gave me a chance to do my thing. Appreciate that. Always appreciate that, man. I'm gonna make sure I grab that segment out and post it. It was a great conversation, man, with a couple of the brothers, man. And what I learned is the less we argue, the more we talk about the information and the source, Joe, the better we can be. The community can start to hear the differences in what we're talking about. And so some people are mad at Tariq, saying he did this, he did that. That's not really my thing. He's telling you what he's doing. And it's up to you either to deal with it or not. So I never had a problem of monetizing the information. If we don't monetize our information, who will? Somebody else will from another community. The issue I always have is promoting bad information, and not only promoting bad information, but claiming to promote solid information. That's the issue. Brother Rocco, what's up? Marco, my fault. That's always been my issue. Not that people are putting forth their own ideas. I think that's important. We understand that I'm always going to follow expertise. But there's always a chance that a non-expert, we never can forget this, that will actually come through with a solid idea. But at the end of the day, the solid ideas has to get checked, man. It's called checks and balances. So when I first came into the community, there was no community. There was no internet base. How do I know it wasn't no internet base? Because it wasn't no YouTube. And so it was making a transition from Dr. Ben and them, John Henry Clark, John Jackson, Hubert Harris. And it switched over to what they called the conscious community. And in this conversation I had earlier on Garfield's show, right, somebody made a comment about the quote unquote conscious community and how we're supposed to bring consciousness. I don't know about all that. That was actually the beginning of the pseudo community. It is what it is, where everybody had an idea. And the thing that made it pseudo, there were actually no checks and balances. There was no way to see who was accurate in what they was talking about. It was whoever had the best voice, whoever had the best flavor, whoever spent the most money, whoever had the most views is what it really was. I know. So I was always fighting for Africa and fighting for the correct information. But just fighting for the correct information, just fighting for Africa wasn't going to do it. Trying to break away from being around people with cult information, that's not enough. I soon found out that I could convince people of what I was talking about. But they wasn't checking the sources. They didn't have the understanding of it. And I ain't never one that's trying to get you. I want to at least, be scrutinized. And I wasn't getting scrutinized properly. Brothers like Sarah Stupicetti, we was all doing our thing. But was it proper? So I'm always the one to say, man, we can change based off of getting better information. So how do you get better information? You got to learn how to scrutinize information. And the place that I seen that had the best scrutiny on the information was academic standards and scientific scrutiny. So it was science literacy, and academic scrutiny, which actually has no color to it, regardless of what you may think. Africans and African Americans been a part of this thing they call science from the very beginning. You'd be hard pressed to find Africans, continental Africans, and African Americans not fighting the fight. That'd be crazy to say it. That's why I cringe when they say it's the white man's science. It's nonsense. Science belongs to humanity. Science was a tool created by humanity. Religion is a tool created by humanity. Now, depending on what you use it for, you will either succeed or fail. It's like having a key. You stick the car key into a house door, you ain't gonna get in. You stick the door key into the car, it's not gonna start up. You try to answer questions about the natural world using religion, you're gonna stay messing it up. And this is what the community was doing. They stayed messing it up. Out of kilter, developed a lot of charlatans, drifters, misinformation, gave them confidence in wrong information, straight up bad information. And I seen it. Man, y'all know what it is, man. We got enough people in the building, man, to start them engines up, man. Let's go.
Bobby Banger from the block, seen it all raw, tough. Streets of Baltimore where survival's always rough. Joined the Marines fighting for a life he could save. But back in the hood, he felt like a runaway slave. Started an army, not of guns but of wisdom. I'm a rock squad, truth the anthem, we ain't just a God killer. Bobby Banger on his path for the truth. Empower the people, give them wisdom as the proof. Black power rising, knowledge shines like a light. He's fighting for the future, ready to ignite. Selling drugs on the corner just traits, but deep in his heart, he knew he had greater fates. From the traps to the lab, he fights ignorance raw, teaching evolution while shaking up the law. The real black atheist is changing the game, waking up minds, never the same. God killer Bobby Banger on his path for the truth, empower the
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie. A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killer in the house. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. God Killer in the house, man. What's up, family, man? Look, we're in for a good one tonight, man. I guess I'm glad everybody has stopped through, man. Big up to all the people that want to participate with me this night, man. Man, we putting the things where they got to be at, and we standing tall on it because it's very, very important, man. Y'all know where I stand on these issues, and there's no need of wavering, man. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Cash App in there, man. Show some love, man, because we take time away from our families, man, and I appreciate all the support, man. The support is very, very important. Appreciate everybody. Hey, Fontaine, man, I got that first listen on that document you sent me, and I'm going in for the second and third listen. I hear you. I see you, bro. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to hit you up and let you know what I think. Man, big up to everybody in the family, man. How y'all doing, man? It's the new year, man. And we turning that stove up. We're not attacking individuals. We're attacking the information and attacking the methodology. This is a long time coming right here. Man, go ahead and share the shows, man. Let them know that there's a group of African Americans that's dedicated to getting it right and don't have a problem with changing their minds based off of more available, correct information. Let them know that we right there, all right, running neck and neck with all other communities. We will not be left behind based off of some false notion, being afraid of supremacy, racism, white supremacy. We are not afraid of it. It is a system that will be dealt with what? Knowledge and wisdom and understanding. We do not abandon our ancestors in Africa. We do not abandon our ancestors in North America. We stand proud on that. And any mistakes they make, we will correct them and move forward. You know why? Because we stand on their shoulders. So we're going to start this thing off cooking with hot grease. We're going to take it right from the top, man. This is your man, Tariq, right here. This is his statement coming out of his own mouth, not for mine. And we're going to critique that statement coming out of his own mouth. All right, let me get right to this. Let's see. Let's get this right in the game here, man. Man, y'all know some fair uses right here, man. We ain't trying to bring no harm to nobody. We ain't trying to disrespect nobody. We just want to use this for educational purposes, man. Man, y'all know what it is. And the education is high at this particular point, man. So you know what it is, man. Let's get it straight from the horse's mouth. All right. Let me get it in here. Let me get it in here. Let me get it in here. All right. All right.
And there's direct routes from Africa to the Americas. Forget about the Bering Strait and all that walking. You can take boats over here, and there's rivers within the ocean that'll take you directly here. So there's 100% proof, and it's factual that there were black people here.
Man, put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that. Once again, put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that. I see you, Miss Wright. Ladosha Wright. I see you. So, let me play the statement one more time. If y'all heard it, put a 1 in there. All right, we're going to rock it again. Let's do it again. One more time. Because this going to be, this the platform we jumping off of. We jumping off right here.
And there's direct routes from Africa to the Americas, forget about the Bering Strait and all that walking. You can take boats over here, and there's rivers within the ocean that'll take you directly here. So there's 100% proof, and it's factual that there were black people here.
So if you got a movement, the movement can't be founded on misinformation. This is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not even trying to make it. I'm actually making it. It makes no sense to be that way. We don't have to be in that situation at all because it's clear what it is. Modern science clearly understands, and we can use anthropology as a tool at actually correcting any mistakes we have. We do not have to be afraid of anthropology, right? So I'll come to an anthropology book. All right, let's come to the anthropology book real quick. And you see it right on your screen. You see the origins and distribution of modern humans. Anatomically modern humans, that's AMS, right? That's AMS, anatomically modern humans, appeared the earliest in Africa and migrated into the rest of the old world, perhaps around 130,000 years ago. Whether these early modern humans interbred with archaic humans such as Neanderthals outside of Africa is still debated. Sometime between 25,000 9,000 years ago, humans colonized the new world. So it took tens of thousands of years to get from Africa here all the way over there to the Americas. They hit Australia about 60,000 years. You're talking somewhere between maybe 40, 50 to 20,000 years to get to America. That's a long time, but they actually walked. But yet we have community members saying that forget all that walking stuff. This is the first source. All right. It's the anthropology book. All right. Let me give you the name of the book real quick. Y'all can get it. Anthropology, Appreciating Human Diversity. Anthropology, Appreciating Human Diversity. Y'all can get it for $5. $5. Anthropology, Appreciating Human Diversity. Go get it for $5. All right, there you go. So that's our first source and what we're doing today. Now, this is what y'all all came for. Let's get right into the hidden colors. But are all the colors really hidden? Hidden colors, the first 5 minutes, a classic review. Let's get into it. Here we go.
It's there. It's just that they're not allowing us to understand.
According to Dr. Ben, the original name of Africa was Alkebulan. Africa, the whole continent, was also called Ethiopia. As a matter of fact, the Atlantic Ocean was called the Ethiopian Sea. So there were several different names. Africa was really described by different tribes. It wasn't a whole monolithic society. But eventually, they named Africa after a European.
Africa was not called Africa. It's actually named after the one who actually conquered the Carthaginians, Scipio Africanus. So they usually, the Roman types of system is that the conquering general gets to name the region he conquered. He gets his name to be placed on that region. So Scipio Africanus is they named a certain terrain after him. So everybody just said, well, let's call it Africa or Africanus. But
So did you hear the first mistake? The first mistake is coming out of Phil Valentine's mouth was that Africa was named after a Roman general. Okay? It's talking about Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus. That's what he's talking about. But how can the continent be named after him And it's actually a Roman naming convention. Whenever Rome defeated its enemies, it will be named after the enemies. So if you talk about the Punic Wars, the Second Punic Wars, right? We're talking about Hannibal. Y'all know who Hannibal is, the North African, the Phoenician. There was a battle of Zama, and he was defeated by Scipio Africanus. It was called Africa befitting because Africanus got the name Africanus, Scipio Africanus, because he defeated Hannibal. It's not the other way around. This is a glaring mistake right out the gate. How long would it take to fix that? Who's going over this material? Okay, I'm going to say it again for you. The belief that the continent of Africa, y'all, was named after the Roman general Scipio Africanus is a misconception. In fact, Scipio Africanus earned his name following his military victory in North Africa during the Second Punic War, particularly when he defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama. That's Z-A-M-A. That's in 202 BCE. Thus, he was named after the region known as Africa, not the other way around. The term Africa itself predates Scipio Africanus and has a more complex etymology. The Romans used the name Africa to refer to their province in northern part of the continent. As a matter of fact, right, the name most likely is derived from indigenous Africans. Y'all don't want to hear that because y'all think to be indigenous, you got to be jet black. So I'm going to say it again. More than likely, the Afar tribe, okay? The Afri tribe, A-F-I-R, Afari tribe, all right, are an indigenous people closely related to the Berbers. Y'all can check the DNA. All right? They are an indigenous people. Simple as that. So, to get this straight, Africa was named after an indigenous people, Berber. Berber are indigenous people, whether you like it or not, and they range in skin color. The Afari tribe or Ifari tribe. All right? They are indigenous people, and they definitely closely synonymous with Berbers. All right? So let's just really let that settle in for a minute. That's important for this conversation going forward. That ain't supposed to happen right out the back, yo. All right? Simple as that. We got to stop it. This is easy work right here. This is not hard, yo. Yes, it was. Named after a tribe, an indigenous African tribe. So all that talk about it was named after European, that is misinformation. It is named after an indigenous tribe of North Africa. Simple as that. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're moving real quick here, yo. You can just read Roman records to tell you. Look up the Battle of Zama, Z-A-M-A, in 202. Scipio defeated Hannibal, who was a Carthaginian, an African. All right, look that up. Matter of fact, a good source for y'all to get is Roman Empire for Dummies. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Let me get that out of here. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Man, I hope y'all feeling good. It's the next point. All right. And big up to Dr. Mayat. She wasn't actually in the Hidden Colors. She was in another series made by a tweet. Like I said, I thought the sisters didn't do a bad job in here. It's the brothers that misstepped and misspoke on a lot of things. All right. Let's go to the next point here.
Benefit if we don't understand what to do today and how that would help us to survive. We discovered the clock. We did discover the wheel. Black man has never been a caveman. You've never been in the cave. There's no history of it. You've ever been in a cave. We discovered mathematics and the alphabet and writing and all of those great things that they have built a foundation on, that they came and got and took benefit if we don't understand what to do today and how that would help us to survive. We discovered the clock. We did discover the wheel. Black man has never been a caveman. You've never been in the cave. There's no history of it. You've ever been in a cave. We discovered mathematics and the alphabet and writing and all of those great things that they have built a foundation on, that they came and got.
Big up to the sister. There were some glaring mistakes here. Two of them being the African has never been a caveman and the African discovered the wheel. There's parts of mathematics that the African brought to the world and parts they just did not. But I want to focus on the glaring mistakes here. This is easy. A good editor will take care of all these mistakes and give us outright history. So let's get right to it. Okay. So really, basically, the invention of the wheel, okay, is actually a pivotal milestone in the history of humanity, man. And is traditionally attributed to Mesopotamian civilizations around 3,500 BCE. So some of the earliest wheels were used in pottery. The potter's wheel appearing in Mesopotamia during the period. Subsequently, the wheel vehicles emerged, all right, facilitating transportation and trade. Okay. Then you would say, well, hold on. Don't worry about having all technology. This is the mistake we make. We need to have everything. Makes no sense. We don't have to have everything. Remember, humans are fit to their environment. If you need the wheel, you're going to invent the wheel. If you don't need the wheel, you won't have a wheel. You'll have something else. Okay? But in Africa, the adoption of the wheel varied across the regions. So evidence suggests that North African societies, such as ancient Egypt, were aware of and utilized wheel technology. Y'all know this, man. Y'all understand that the chariot, right, was innovated on. They took those Hittites. They took those slow moving vehicles that they had, right, and they fit the chariot. They fit it, right. They added what you would call shock absorbers. They modernized the chariot. Okay, the Hittites pulling that slow thing. They couldn't shoot from behind. They couldn't sit on there and bowman and make accurate shots. They couldn't do that. But what the Nile Valley Africans did, they took it and modernized the technology. No more different than what China did with the mouse. You don't hear the Chinese crying about not inventing the mouse. Talking about the computer mouse, right? They did was they innovated it and they took advantage of it. This is the nature of human society. The mistakes we make is always trying to be first. First doesn't make you right. We invent things out of necessity. Based off our history being marginalized, we think we got to have everything. So you can get deep into the language where you'll see the word for will in certain Indo-European languages, and that's okay. All right? So we got to stop wanting to be European. Just being African and African American, trust me, once you learn your history, man, that's enough, man. Trust me with that. So we don't need movies based off of fiction and not reality. What we need is accurate history. So you can say, well, what did they do? If they didn't have the wheel, what did they do? They had other technologies that was comparable for what we needed to navigate our environment. And when we did run across things that we did not have, because that is the nature of being human, you don't have everything. We took it and we fit it to our environment. Because we can talk about the Asian grains that come into Africa and we Africanize it. It's not a hard thing to do. The next point that's very important is the caves. Okay? So early Homo sapiens sapien are amongst the first inhabitants of caves because they utilized it for shelter and various activities, y'all. So let me name a couple notable caves. Bloemblos Cave in South Africa, occupied about 100,000 years ago, right? So this site yielded a lot of artifacts, including engraved orchid pieces, indicates early symbolic behavior. So if you give up the daggone caves, now you're giving up early symbolic thinking. Do you want to do that? No. Prior to finding these cave sites, they actually thought early symbolic thinking started in Europe. But it was these cave sites, okay, that yielded these evidence to show that early humans was actually had symbolic thought. Okay, you got Borders Cave in South Africa, Panga in Kenya Cave. All right, you got Pinnacle Point. That's like one of my favorite caves right there. All right, why is Pinnacle Point so important? Pinnacle Point in South Africa is important. This ranged back to about 170,000 years, where early Africans occupied, located near Mussel Bay. So the finds include early marine resources. We talk about this all the time. Okra processing. All right, when they process, okra, right? And heat treatment of stone tools production indicate cognitive abilities. How important is this? So early heat, meaning they take stones and they heat them, but they don't just heat them. They actually control the fire because they have to heat the stones to a certain temperature, right, to allow easy modeling of the stones to create the tools they need. I'm going to say this again. At 170,000 years ago, in caves, Bloemblos Cave, you got Africans controlling heat. All right? That's approximately 80,000 years where they really learn how to control the heat, meaning keep it at a constant temperature. This will be later on used in metallurgy. Y'all know Africa is one of the early places for metallurgy. We don't gotta have a wheel. So my point is we don't gotta make up nothing. Our history is serious without making it up. So stop saying that we wasn't the cavemen and cave women. We absolutely was. We was the first. So Pinnacle Point is definitely a pivotal cave, a pivotal point in African history. Clear. Matter of fact, when we saved humanity, there wasn't no humanity. There wouldn't have been a humanity if not for those early Africans in the cave systems that migrated from East Africa to South Africa during glacial isotope stage 6 or glacial stage 6. We to this day, they have not found life outside of Africa at 170,000 years. They have not found humans. Let me correct that. They have not found humans. Not to say they won't, but they have not found humans. So basically what this is saying is humanity was in a bottleneck. I mean, the only place you can find Homo sapiens at this particular time period was in South Africa, living in caves. And based off their survival, and based off their ability to become the first shellfish eaters, they survived. And based off surviving, right, they spread around the world walking. There you have it. Very interesting there. So let's move on to the next one. Man, hit that Cash App, man. Show some love. I see you, Chill, man. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I pin the Cash App in the pin the Cash App. Pin that, man. Hit that. Show some love during the show, man. All right. All right, let's get to our next clip. Let us move on. Okay, here we go.
in the Great Zimbabwe that shows a direct relationship to the Grand Lodge of Luxor in Egypt. You have Puanit, which is in today's Somalia, Ethiopia. You have the Kush empires that are simultaneously happening. When Hatshepsut, the great Pharaoh king, although she was a woman, she was a Pharaoh king, sitting on the throne of Kemet, her cousin sits on the throne of Puanit, or what we call Somalia. There are great things happening historically.
Man, there's no evidence of such a claim. There's no evidence of such a claim. There's no evidence of Zimbabwe Empire having a relationship with the Great Lodge of Luxor. First of all, there aren't any lodges in ancient Egypt. They're temples. There's no credible evidence suggesting a direct relationship between the Great Zimbabwe Empire and the Great Lodge of Luxor in ancient Egypt. Zimbabwe is located in Southeast Africa. Was constructed between, watch this is important, the 11th and the 15th century CE. This is chronology now. All right. By the Sonia people. It said it served as the capital of the Kingdom of Zimbabwe. And it was a significant center of trade, culture, politics in the region. Man, the history alone is enough. It's African history. Why mess up African history? Because if you're saying there's a correlation between the two, right? You're messing it up. Because now you're messing up the real, authentic history. The history that the brother talked about does not exist. So in contrast, the temple situated in the East Banks, Luxor, Thebes, dates back to 1400 BCE, man. Simple as that. The dates aren't right. So both of these sites are remarkable, man, for their architectural achievements. And I think each site should be noted for that. All right? And cultural significance to those kingdoms, man. They emerge in different historical periods and geographical contexts, man. So we gotta just stop that, man. Easy work. All right? So no, we do not need to smash these together because we sound good. Sound good scholarship, man, make you feel good, but at the end of the day, it's gonna make you vulnerable. Make you even more vulnerable than you first started out. Because people are laughing at you. Okay? People are laughing. Let me drop a source or two for you. Use Encyclopedia Britannica. Great Zimbabwe. All right? Let me drop this source for you. You know, these things can be easily fixed. I ain't throwing no shots, man. I'm just saying what it is, man. Some things we don't even gotta fight. Man, big up to everybody in the chat, man. Big up to the love, man. Man, we cooking with hot grease. All right. Fontaine, man, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the love, man. Appreciate that. Richard Redwood, man, appreciate you, man. I see you, Kent Logan, kick door. Let's move on. All right. We still in the first 5 minutes. Yeah. Let's see what the next clip brings us. All right. Share the screen, man.
The African was the first race to circumnavigate the entire globe.
All over Africa, all over the world, the peoples of color that they call Africans, Alkebulanans, we were all over the world. So to say that in Ghana, they had the Ashanti, they had, all over, we had powerful dynasties so innumerable we couldn't even name them, because remember, we had hundreds of thousands of years, and that's the secret. They cut us off at 6,000 because anything beyond that they could say is mystery, they could say is myth. So when you control the information, which is essentially what they've learned to do under the Vatican, they have about 6 to 8 miles of storage space that have all of our artifacts, and the Virgin Mother being black, all of the faces. We have to take apart the
One of them Russian icons, man. At what point, man, do we slow our roll? So no, Africans weren't the first to navigate the globe. Sorry to bust your bubble. I'm gonna say this again. Africans were not the first to circumnavigate the globe. Okay? It's just not grounded in historical record, right? The historical record does not provide evidence of Africans independently circumnavigating the globe prior to European expansion. Africans did participate in global circumnavigation during the age of exploration. They did do that, but prior to that, they didn't do it. Okay, so we don't want to mess this up. So Africans was present now, okay, on European voyages that achieved global circumnavigation. All right. So we don't gotta act like we wasn't there. What we can't do is play this game and act like, yeah, 1,000 years before that they came. Because see, this is the foundation of the lie that's being promoted right now about it was black people in America. When they say black people, they're saying Africans. Okay. So in that clip, it's saying that we circumnavigated the globe before. We didn't do it. So what? We had enough fight circumnavigating the big rivers and inventing river barges to deal with our societies, river societies. Remember that? Remember, we was river societies. Right now, if I was to take some people out the chat, y'all couldn't build a boat strong enough to survive the Nile. Right now. You would have to take time to learn it. You have to remember, I'm not going to give you nothing to read on how to build a boat. You have to take it from scratch. How long would it take you? See, we think that stuff easy. We think making a boat that can carry products and goods up and down the Nile is an easy work, huh? Nah. Yeah, we had ships. Egypt, Nile Valley had ships, right? Earliest inventions of ships come from the Nile Valley. One of the oldest boats is in Nigeria. But we talking about circumnavigating the globe. There's a lot to go with that. And no, we did not do that. So we need to stop taking away from other people. Let them have that, because you be the first to be mad. You know what I'm saying? You the first to be mad and cry foul about somebody that stole your history. Well, how? When you become the new culture vultures for no reason. You got enough on your plate. You got a 100, 200, 300,000 year lead on the rest of the world. Relax. So if you don't know your story, man, people can come and trick you. And that's the point I want to make. We have enough on our plate, man. You know, how great was the indigenous Africans? How great are the African Americans? How great are the Africans in Brazil? How great are the Africans, you know what I'm saying, in Britain, in all parts of the world? You don't gotta make up. What more do you want? And then this the thing that really get me. You'll hear people make evolutionary statements and don't know they're making evolutionary statements. Everybody in that video, I ain't gonna speak in absolutes, but for the most part, they're gonna deny evolution. But out of their mouths, they're gonna say we was the first people on Earth. We was the first people in Africa. How so? If you deny the very mechanism that explains it. They will deny the out of Africa theory. Call yourself the natives, indigenous to America. But then you're denying the out of Africa model then. Can't have the out of Africa model and then say we was indigenous to the Americans and then double talk it. That's why we do this show. Big up to the pseudo killers. Big up to the community skeptics. Big up to Garfield. Man, I just find it to be very, very interesting, man. All right. So, nah, man. There's no documented evidence of Africans independently navigating the globe before European explorers, man. All right. So we just gonna knock that out. We're gonna stop it. Okay. All right. We just gonna have to stop that. All right. So you go prove me wrong. Let's get on to the next clip. How they said, yeah, go prove me wrong. You can't. All right, let me get to this clip right here. Let's get one. Let me see. I know. Okay, great Luxor relationship. Let me see. And no, the Madonna child wasn't black. Knock that off. I'm not even gonna show y'all. I'm not doing that. Okay. Okay. Here's another claim. We right there. Moving with breakneck speed, ain't we? Yeah. Be easy.
Egyptology was created by the Vatican in order to make sure that there was a screening mechanism in place to explain away the truth that was being excavated every year, that kept giving them proof of who the ancient Kemites were. So Egyptology and Egyptologists are essentially agents. Egyptology was created by the Vatican.
Egyptology was not created by the Vatican. Say this again. Egyptology was not created by the Vatican. Napoleon Bonaparte, when he went to Egypt, he took a whole scientific contingent with him. This would be the start of it. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. Now, Egyptology was not started by the Vatican Church, and yes, they did come along, right, and aided to it. Yes, they did, but no, it was not started by the quote unquote Vatican. All right, it just didn't. So now it did make notable contributions, all right, in the study and preservation of Egyptian artifacts. Now you can question how they wanted to preserve it. You can do all that, okay? But we know for sure, right, that Napoleon Bonaparte's, man, around let's see, 1798 somewhere, 1801, okay? They also, when they did that, they did a publication. Let me get the publication. Description d'Egypte. All right. Let me show a source. All right. I'm using Encyclopedia Britannica again. All right. It says this. It says the study of pharaonic Egypt spanning the period of 4,500 to 641. So Egyptology began when scholars accompanying Napoleon Bonaparte's invasion of Egypt. So it was an invasion. They invaded Egypt, 1798 to 1801, published this, what's this? Description d'Egypte in 1809 to 28. It says, which made a large quantities of source material about ancient Egypt available to Europeans. All right, there you go. All right, so the field was started when Napoleon Bonaparte took scholars with him. They took measurements. All right, the nose of the Sphinx was already gone when he got there. How we know? Because they made drawings of it. That's another myth that's in the community, that they blew the nose off. That Napoleon blew the nose off the Sphinx. That's not real, because you can look at the drawings. The nose was already blown off. These are the mistakes that should not be made. Okay? This is easy work. All right? So I'm not a hater. I'm just a participator. Glaring. And we still in the first 5 minutes. Let's move forward now. Where we at? One to find a clip. So also in the documentary, there's a mention of Hatshepsut having a cousin in Somalia. It's not true. There's no record of Hatshepsut having a cousin sitting on the throne of Mali. I mean, my fault, not Mali. Somalia or Eritrea during that time period we call Punt. There's no record of that. But yet they say that in this documentary. Okay. Let's move on. Boy, your man, boy. The scholar himself. The scholar himself.
At the early pictures of most of the deities of Asia, nearly all of them bore striking resemblance to the deities of the Nile Valley civilizations. And even in their writings, you will see that even in Asia, not just Greece and Rome, but even in Asia, you get
There's no that man. Asian gods ain't made up of African people. Asian gods ain't look. That's crazy. Like, see, there we go. We don't want to allow other people to have their own culture. Let me let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that religion, you can find that all over the world in different forms and fashions. And for the most part, human beings, 99.99% of the time, those ancient cultures made the deities that look like them. I'm never going to speak in absolutes because we see African Americans not caring what their gods look like. For the most part, the pictures that you're going to have depicting your gods are going to look like you. Whatever you're going to use, you're going to use yourself, right? You're going to use people in your society who are great and renowned. They're going to become deified. Not unless y'all think they just fell out of heaven. Remote possibility, huh? So this is an attempt to globally spread Africans non-scientifically. This is what's going on. I'm going to say this again. Hidden Colors is an attempt to spread Africans non-scientifically. Pseudo. Misinformation, man. Let me go to the chat. The great Ladosha says, I remember hosting an entire event around Hidden Colors. I was shocked to learn that most of it was false and grossly exaggerated, but it did get people talking and exposed a few charlatans. Oh, man. They said it's important. In the grand scheme of things. You say, so say it's hidden. That's why y'all confused. Oh, man. So, man, it's important, man, to keep this thing going the way we need to have it, man. It's just so important, man. And the thing that get me the most is just the misrepresentation, man. With easy work, man. So if you got a budget of 50,000, I think that was the first budget in Hidden Colors. You know what I'm saying? You should get some credible scientists from your community. We got African Americans in anthropology. We got historians that are African American, if that's what you want to do. All right, we have fact checkers. We have the internet. You can get a team, okay, to fact check the information and not make easy mistakes like that. That's they easy mistakes right off the rip. Well, it made us feel good, is what I always hear them say. We're not looking for feeling good. We want to have accuracy. Feel good on your own time. don't feel good in the midst of trying to correct the daggone history. Makes no sense. So I'm gonna drop the link. Anybody want to add something to the discourse? Right? Appreciate you. All right. So man, I just think it's a, for me, yeah, it shouldn't be that easy, man. Anonymous Preem, he says, you can't replace lies with more lies. Right. You can't correct pseudo information with pseudo information. Yeah, I'm not dealing with you, Babylon. Done. Can't even pray you don't mind. You're out the game completely, Babylon. Right? It's crazy. No, we don't know what you're talking about, Pan-African designs. You just talking. I've dropped the link, man. Y'all want to get on, add something to the discourse, right? And I just appreciate everybody, helping this platform grow. It's growing. Subscribers are up, close to 4,000. Getting there, right? Man, subscribe and share the shows, man. It's important, man. Share the shows, man. Because we pushing for legitimacy, right? We want to make sure that our history is legitimate. We want the world to know that we can compete in areas that people think we have not been in. We've always been connected to science. Okay, there's information that the conscious community will fight against, like vaccines, for instance, where you got at least the origin of inoculation in Africa. You can find that in West Africa, amongst West African tribes. They also have some records maybe in India and China. But the particular inoculation that came to America's A.E. Boston was West African style. And it was based off of that, okay, that would lead to vaccines. Edwin Jenner. I think it's 1790s when you get your first, or 1776 or something like that. Or that, you know what I'm saying? Where they get the first. Don't quote me on that. Don't make it feel I got that wrong, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Well, your first vaccines made, but they first started with inoculation, and they did some studies on it. And they was like, man, of course Europeans didn't want to listen. And y'all don't know, during those times with smallpox, guess what the real enemy was with those slave colonies in America? The real enemy was starvation. Yeah, because Europeans were sick. They couldn't get out. They couldn't make it would slow down the trade and commerce, man. All right. Couldn't get food moved from this place to that place. One, the smallpox for us, because we had remedy. We had something for it. It's called inoculation, where you would, take an infected person, take a little bit of pus from their sores, cut a slit, put it in, sew it up, right? And there you have it. That was definitely dangerous, but it was better than getting smallpox. Okay? So, man, I don't history was serious, yo. And, I'm gonna drop the link, man. Any questions? If not, man, we moving on. What do you say? I'm a 5%er. A lot of, let me see what you got here. I'm a 5%er. A lot of the 120 is pseudo. It's supposed to point us to atheism and skepticism if you really study. Very similar to Hidden Colors. Huh? I ain't mad at you, though. I ain't mad at you. Raw Preem. Elevation. I ain't mad at you. Interesting take on that, man. Let me see what we got. We got knock it off, Bobby. That C-19 is bogus. That COVID-19 bogus. I tell you one thing we do know about the coronavirus is that a lot of us caught it. A lot of us got it. And by us getting it, it slowed it down, didn't it? So you had a choice. You could either catch coronavirus in a controlled manner, or you could catch it straight off the rip. Your immune system was going to have to run up against it to give you protection anyway. None of the herbs and spices was going to actually work like that. Prior to developing a vaccine, prior to developing antiviral medicines, it's your natural body. So we always say that your natural body is the best weapon. See, we've never not said that, right? But the best weapon got to be loaded. So do you load your best weapon with blanks, right? And shoot at the body? Or do you load it with real bullets and shoot at the body? You want to load it with blanks. Because if a person is pointing a blank gun at you, you're going to jump. Right? Pow, you jumping. You check for holes. If he loaded with bullets, you bow, you shot. Oh. So the vaccine was actually a blank. It tricked your body into thinking you was getting the real virus. And it caused a defense against the real thing. See how I put that together? That's all the vaccine was. That's it. So, man, y'all got to get y'all studies up, man. It's important, man. Somebody said, look, the herbs can fight it 100%. Herbs are actually innocuous, meaning they do not cause an immune response. Look up the word innocuous, right? Food you eat, plants, vegetables are plants, meat, milk, dairy, juice, all that, right? Does not cause an immune response, not unless you are allergic to it. And then that means it's a response that will happen, right? Food allergies can actually kill you. That means there's something wrong with your immune system. That's why you're having an immune response to something that's supposed to be innocuous. See, there you have it. So herbs do not cause an immune response. That's the only thing that really can use your natural body is your immune system, which is one of the greatest systems that Homo sapiens have. So herbs do not cause an immune response. There's no way around it, yo. No, the right herb is a plant. Plants do not cause an immune response. You can have an aversion. You can be allergic to it. That's why it'll cause an immune response, man. Like, I can't make you understand the immune system. So the more you understand about the immune system, the more you will get the point. So immune, the journey into the mysterious system that keeps you alive. Philip, there you go. Detmere, here you go. Go to the YouTube channel in a nutshell. Learn about the immune system. What you want me to do? We always on deck with it. So, all right, don't nobody want to join the panel. I appreciate it. 74,000 in the room. All right, I'm going to drop that link one more time. Big up to you. Prima, Scriptica, Angel of the Lord. Big up to the Angel of the Lord. Would that be the landlord? Or would that be the Lord that guards the universe? Let me stop. Look. Hey, James, I'm going to give you a plug. Most people who had severe effects from COVID had particular type of Neanderthal DNA. Like, that's supposed to mean something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that changed why vaccine, like, that has no place for this conversation right here. It doesn't. It just does not. But James, appreciate that statement there, bro. I don't know what context you're trying to use that in, but you know what I'm saying? This is a good question. Why do you think the conscious community can't let go of spookism? Because they was miseducated, and spookism is part of Homo sapiens sapiens. We Homo spooky. Yeah, Homo sapiens sapiens was, I mean, that's, we can take it back because we still have the Stone Age brain. And we're spooky. And I always give the example of, if you're at 150,000 BCE, okay, and you're in your environment, it's better for you to be spooky than scientific on most things. Okay, on most things. Like, I don't got time to ask the question if I'm walking in the savannah and the high grasses move. I don't got time to ask, is that grass? You're vulnerable during this time period. Is that is the grass? Is that the wind blowing the grass? Or is that a tiger? Not a well, a lion. Ain't no tigers in the savannas of Africa. Is that a lion? Is that a predator? You don't got time. Is that a wild dog, a wild boar? No, run. If you're hiding in the trees, right? You're hiding in something, shaking the tree, run. We don't got time like we would, the community skeptics and pseudo killers. Oh, let me see. I don't think that quite moved enough. I think it's a win. And get 8. So if you're walking down these trails, right, and the leaves rustle, you got to jump. Right now, that mechanism is still in your head. Right now, if you out jogging and running, and you running down the trail, and something move over there, you whoa, you're gonna look down, you're gonna be moving. You're not gonna just look, you're gonna jump. That's part of the evolutionary process. Those that jumped lived to play another day. Those who didn't jump, try to analyze the situation, got 8. So if you bit by a snake in those time periods, you're done. Yeah, you don't know about the anti-venom, you don't got all the stuff to get, you're done. Break a leg, you're done. Something get infected, you're done. Most species on planet Earth have been what? Have went extinct. So it's part of the evolutionary process to be spooky. And it is religion that has co-opted that natural mechanism in you. We just had Annie Thompson on. It's a great one. Look at the show. Go check out the show. So humans are spooky. See, you will never make the mistake in calling a human a shadow, but you will always make the mistake in calling a shadow a human. Because you can be in your house and you can be upstairs and something will crash through the daggone door. You're going to run and get your thing. Go get the blicky. All right? You're going to jump, be startled, get the blicky. You're going to think that somebody just kicked your door down. Right? And if you was hustling, boy, you be like, it's a raid. You can flush the things down the toilet. Only to find out it was a drunken driver that crashed through your door. There you have it. So, man, we just got to keep moving forward, man, to understand that. What else we got? Describing your opinions. Africans was in tune with all the animals. You mean like Tarzan? Tarzan was definitely in tune with all he could talk to the animals. That's a European thing, being in tune with that. You didn't know that? Africans was running early on until they learned how the particular animal moved and they learned how to deal with them. Because hell, the animals just as scared of you as you scared of them. I don't know about all that domination thing. You learn your environment. You learn what these animals like to hunt. You know what I'm saying? You learn your space, and everybody keep their space. They don't get you close to humanoids, and we ain't getting too close to them. That's how I go, bro. If we do happen to run across each other, then it is what it is. Y'all been watching The Lion King too much, man. Y'all gotta stop that. Well, that's funny right there, man. Hit that Cash App, man. Show some love, man. I think we got, let's see what we got today. We got 3 Cash Apps, man. I appreciate that, yo. Yep. Appreciate that all the way to the top, man. Let me sing back that. Good love, man. Appreciate that. Any more questions? Yeah, that was definitely 5 minutes. Hidden colors the first 5 minutes. Let me see whatever questions we got in this chat room right here. Joe Armstrong. Tony Tone said they understood the behavior of animals. I ain't going to doubt that. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, animals. Yeah, I think it's I think animals are afraid of each other at times. Till they get hungry, it's time to hunt. But you know, like lions don't typically just hunt humans like that. That's why in Africa or anywhere, if you found an animal like a lion or something that's hunting humans, once they get their taste of humans, they get rid of them. All right, but we not typically they food, and vice versa. We ain't eating lion meat. That ain't the typical meal for us, right? And human meat ain't the typical meal for humans. For lions. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, man. I don't know. Come on, man. James, can we trust you? No, we can't trust you, bro. Yeah, we can't trust you, bro, because we don't even know why you're saying that. We don't know why you would say that science found that certain strands of COVID cause severe sickness and death to people. Yeah, of course. That proves evolution. Right. Certain mutations ever was more deadly than other, of course. How does that help change the fact of if they would have got vaccinated, they wouldn't have lost as much as they did? The herbs didn't work. We see it in real time. There's African leaders that died based off of the herbology. Okay. Nope, haven't heard them lines, bro. Just come up here and tell us about it. Funny. C19 was a human creation. Yeah, man, I hear you, bro. Yeah, AK, man. Yeah, you out of the game all the way, bro. You give humans too much credit. They ain't got that ability to make that like that. Man, it's mechanisms in those viruses, yo, that you've been the greatest virologist on planet Earth ever with more knowledge than we got right now to actually make that like that. Giving us too much credit, bro. See, you way ahead of what we could do. See, and that's part of the hidden color scenario, that a lot of times things are way ahead of what we could do. And they never talk about the things we really could do, right? They never talk about the things we really actually did. So if I was to come to a site, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. And that it? I got the wrong website. I don't want to do that. I want to do technology. I want to do. Let me see. African technology. Let me see. No. I think this is it. So much stuff we had did. History of Science and Technology in Africa. That's always a good read for y'all. I'm gonna drop that in for y'all. All right. Right. So you give your kids this to read. Man, you know what I'm saying? Give them this to read. Here, let me drop this for you. Yeah, we don't want to hear about the gain of function because you're gonna misuse that. We don't want to hear about all that. We don't want to do it. Pick up the Mac Rob, pseudo kill official, man. Yeah, you've been a bad man to create that one. You ain't lying, yo. You've been a superstar to create that virus. So you was like, it's mechanism that they only see in nature that was in there, yo. The humans haven't even understood to be able to put that together. You're a bad man right there. So give your kids this article, The History of Science and Technology in Africa. It says Africa has the world's oldest record of human technology and achievement. The oldest surviving stone tools in the world have been found in East Africa, and later evidence of tool production by humans, the hominin ancestors, has been found across West, Central, and East and Southern Africa. The history of science and technology in Africa since then has, however, received relatively little attention compared to the other regions of the world. Despite notable African developments in mathematics and metallurgy and architecture and other fields. So instead of y'all running around and taking somebody else's stuff, focus on Africa. Ain't that what we supposed to be doing? Come on, man. Stop it. Wildest thing ever. So that's the point right there. let me come to this one fact here. Let's go to textiles. How about medicine? How about astronomy? All right. Start in astronomy. Let's go to Nabta-Playa. Go back to 7,000 BCE. Talk about Nabta-Playa. The world's oldest known astronomical device built by ancient Nubians. I don't exactly want to say Nubians. This is the time period before Nubians, but it's at Nabta-Playa. Okay. And if you read the sources on it, they was definitely more closely related to that Nubian population. This was like a area where, like, say, Stonehenge, with different tribes will converge there at different time periods, right? They festivals and stuff like that. And they found these large stone cattle there. Okay. All right. So let's see. Sahil. Hold on. Let's come to East Africa. Let's go to South Africa. Wait, where I'm at? Let me go to the medicine real quick. My favorite right here. Okay. Medicine. So I say this over and over and over again, that rainforests got plants. And early humans, whether in China, whether in Africa, they have their traditional medicines. The issue that I have is that Africa has not put enough push or monies into actually developing those medical industries. And I understand why, because colonialism has underdeveloped Africa, right? So it's like you just held us back with the chains on us. They couldn't even flourish. I get that. That's wild, right? So, but at a certain point, you're going to have to send students abroad, okay? Make educational systems, colleges comparable. There are some that are, right? And, get on the daggone train. You're going to have to. It's important. But you got a vast sea of plants. Different African culture got different plants. See, now we got techniques called synthesis. You can synthesize it. Okay? Synthesize that, man. And Julian Percy, he reached total synthesis. He unlocked the secret what? Magic of plants. And what was that? He realized there was active ingredients in plants. And it's those active ingredients, not the herb, okay, that they actually use in medicine. I'm gonna say this again. We based off of modern science, we no longer have to give a person 10, 20 pounds of herbs, not knowing how much it takes for a person to weigh 250, as opposed to a person to weigh 170, as opposed to a person that weigh 120 pounds. How much of that we need before the active ingredient it works? They didn't know about the active ingredients. They just gave them the herb. Now we understand about active ingredients. Based off an African American, Julian Percy. You just look him up. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I can get him up real quick. Percy Julian. Let me say I said it wrong. Percy Julian. Percy Julian. Yep. Percy Julian. That's one of my favorite scientists right there. Yep. He's a pioneer. He was an American research chemist and pioneer in chemical synthesis of medical drugs and plants. Let me show y'all. While y'all running around here playing, and letting everybody running circles around you, act like you this and that, man, you got You got serious dude. Here's a serious dude right here, yo. Why y'all disrespect this man right here, yo? I don't understand it, yo. I don't understand it. I really don't, bro. There you go. Pioneer in chemical synthesis. He actually took them yams, man. Built the plant in Mexico and was a millionaire. Why y'all acting like he didn't do it? Okay. Simple as that. So his work laid the foundation for steroid drug industry and production of what? Cortisone. All right. Artificial hormones that led to birth control. Yeah, that's your man right there. All right. Come on, man. Why y'all mess with this dude right here, dude? This dude was so serious. So he had his own daggone pharmaceutical joint in Mexico plant, had a mansion, and him and his son was hiding in trees in their yard. When Europeans was burning crosses in his yard, he was shooting at them. Y'all can forget about Percy Julian, huh? So back to the point I was making about we can develop industries. We can be a part of industries in America, and continental Africans got all the plants they need, right? They got the daggone the plants, the voodoo, right? That's the medicine. You know what I'm saying? They got it. They just got to modernize it. You know what I'm saying? So it's there, right? And African Americans be the one to tell them when you get your education right, get your thing right, you get them right. You get yourself right first. Stop putting out misinformation on what we did and what we didn't do. That's a definite problem right there. All right. So if you come to this article right here, it says, there you go. The knowledge of inoculation oneself against smallpox seemed to have been known to West Africans, more specifically their Khan. It says a slave named Onesimus explained the inoculation procedure to Cotton Mather. During the 18th century, he reported to have gotten the knowledge from Africa. There you go. Bone setting, practiced by many groups in West Africa that can. The Mano and Yoruba, to name a few. We could just go on and 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 on. But we rather just make it up. And I'm saying, man, that ain't cool, man. You don't got to make up nothing, yo. You don't got to make up nothing. You got it. You don't got to make up who the Egyptians was. They're indigenous Africans. They range in skin color, phenotypes. You don't got to make up nothing. You don't got to play like you this and play like you that. You just don't got to do it. So I'm here to be the one to tell you. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. I appreciate the love, man. Let me drop the Cash App link one more time, man. Let me drop this link and see if anybody want to jump in here, man. Getting a little late. I'm going to put that in there for y'all. That's the link right there. All right. Let me drop Percy, Lavon Julian, my man. Yo, I actually had a serious academic career too, yo. He attended DePaul University in Greencastle. India, where else? Let me see. I know he went, let me see, DePaul. Let me see where else he went. While instructor at Howard University, he received the Rockefeller Foundation Fellowship and continued to graduate work in the University of Vienna, where he earned his PhD in 1931. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was serious, yo. Did all that. Millionaire. Pharmaceutical, owned his own pharmaceutical company. All right, there you go. It's snowing. Oh, it ain't snowing, so I'm going to bed. Gotta go to work in the morning, huh? I understand that, man. What time is it, man? We got 70,000 building, man. We at the 2-hour mark, man. Let me see. Appreciate y'all stopping through, man. We're gonna get in the next 10 minutes. Hitting colors, man. So that was easy work right there. We ain't gotta do nothing hard. We don't gotta disrespect nobody, but I will tell you, ain't no black people in America. It's as of 2025 that we can verify. When I say black people, I'm talking about continental Africans. I'm not talking about somebody's got brown skin and all that nonsense and all the games y'all play. We ain't doing all that. Man, hit that Cash App going out the door, man. Appreciate everybody, man, for coming through, man. Show some love, man. Appreciate all that. All I can tell you is, man, within the next month, yo, we having a powerful anthropologist, bioanthropologist. Come on. I can't disclose the name right now. I've been waiting for this for a while. Based off of some support I got, yo. We there. We in conversations with them. Serious conversations. Been checking our community out. He was surprised. Let me say they were surprised that this type of situation even was there. Yeah, they heard the conscious community with all the bad misinformation. But to see a community striving for science and scientific excellence and the rigor of academia and not call it the white man thing, ain't a lot of us around like that, doing it like we doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, big up to them damn Ravens too. Ooh, they got a good one next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, our arch rivalry. What a way to finish off your arch rivalry in the playoffs. It ain't gonna be easy, but man, who rather have it any other way but that way? If you're gonna be in the playoffs, yo, might as well go through it. Go ahead and get your rivalry first. Get them out the way first. And end up in KC somewhere if they happen to make it there. I personally think KC ain't gonna make it to the AFC Championship game. I don't know. Now again, it's gonna be probably you know what? It might just be that KC and the Ravens. But we're gonna stay back right now. We're not gonna make no predictions, but it is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We're doing our thing around here, man. It's important, man, for us to continue our literacy in science, man. Y'all just seen the show, man. Hitting colors the first 5 minutes, a classical review, man. Ain't no hate over here, man. We're just gonna keep moving and pushing things forward, man. Y'all know what it is, man.
Body banger from the block, seen it all raw tough. Streets of Baltimore where survival's always rough. Joined the Marines fighting for a life he could save. But back in the hood, he felt like a runaway slave. Started an army, not of guns but of wisdom. I'm a rock squad, truth the anthem, we ain't just a God killer. Bobby Banger on his path for the truth. Empower the people, give them wisdom as the proof. Black power rising, knowledge shines like a light. He's fighting for the future, ready to ignite. Selling drugs on the corner just to put food on plates, but deep in his heart, he knew he had greater fates. From the traps to the lab, he fights ignorance raw, teaching evolution while shaking up the law. The real black atheist is changing the game, waking up minds, never the same. God killer Bobby Banger on his path for the truth, empower the people.
Man, look, I'm your host, Bobby Banger, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Man, hit them likes and get them subscriptions up, man. We need that, man. Yeah, man. Big up to you out there. I see you right there, man. Big up 2025, man. And yeah, man, we moving forward, man. I know things gonna keep moving our way in our direction, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. Ain't no hating over here, man. We just participating, man. We striving to make sure the African American community is powerful and get back to leading the world in science and science innovation. I'm your host, Bobby Banger, aka God Killer. Y'all know what it is, man. And with that,